The Rip Curl Flashbomb has had a big change for winter 2025 onwards. And in this video, we're going to talk through what those big changes are and the differences between the two models, the Flashbomb and the Flashbomb Pro. My name's Henry from Shaw, and let's dive into it. So for this winter onwards, so winter 2025 onwards, Rip Curl have done a huge change to their series of wetsuits in their top end of the suits. So this is their Ultimate series, and they've really developed these on quite a lot, basically. You need to be careful when looking at Flashbomb. The name's been around for a very long time, so the features you might find on older suits are not the same as the suits we're going to be talking about today. So the first big change that they've brought down for this winter is the fusion seams. Now this was something Rip Curl have been working on in secret for quite a while and was released in a specific suit last year, but now it's available across the whole Flashbomb range. Now you think with neoprene getting super flexible, linings getting really, really good, what's next in terms of improving how a suit works? And Rip Curl thought seams. The way the seams have been stuck together has been the same for the last decade, as long as I can remember. So Rip Curl really put a lot of time, energy and R&D into developing a new seam method that was going to be more flexible, let less water in and last longer. And then they developed, so basically they did that, hopefully, and developed the fusion seams. So fusion seam, if you think about how traditionally they used to cut wetsuit, they used to put two bits of neoprene together, cut down the middle at a 90-degree angle, and therefore you would just butt them up with a bit of glue, with some tape, with some stitching. If you think the surface area of that isn't particularly big, so what happens is over time that stitching can pull apart, the glue can let go, and water can start getting into the suit. So with the fusion seam, Rip Curl decided to completely reimagine that, and now they cut the neoprene at a huge 45-degree chamfer. So when you look at one of these suits when you get it home, you'll see almost the neoprene is cut at a full angle. What this does is it gives them a huge surface area for the glue to be applied. So you think that's dramatically increased, and it allows them to basically almost have a stitchless suit. So there's no stitches going through the neoprene that could then later pull out or let water through. They use a tape on the outside and a tape on the inside. They call it the Ultimate tape. But what this does is just stop the very tight, thin area of the edge of this new seam flapping up, but really doesn't hurt performance or anything like that. What you're going to see is a lot of other brands start copying this technique, but for the moment Rip Curl have exclusivity on it. They're first to market, and I can tell you from wearing one of these suits for the last 2 or 3 years now, I had one of the early test ones, I'm still as dry on some surfs inside as when I get out of the water as when I got in, which is a very weird experience. Especially when you're only surfing in the pool, maybe for an hour, you can get out and your chest is still sort of dry because that water hasn't got in, which is incredible. So that's the big change throughout the suits. Now, there are two versions. There is a Pro version and a Rip Curl Flashbomb version. So you have a Rip Curl Flashbomb Pro, which is really designed for flexibility, and then you have the Rip Curl Flashbomb, which is designed for the ultimate in warmth. So the main difference between the features are the Pro, which is the one I'm holding in my hand here, is a completely zipless suit. So it's going to feel the best when you've got it on, but it can be a right pain to get on. And it has less flash dry lining. So if you're looking at flash bombs, you probably understand a bit about how flash dry lining works, but basically it's the pink material you see in the inside of the suits here. And the idea being it lets the water drain through really quickly, creates that barrier. Instead of water, it turns it into air. You warm up the air. It keeps you warmer for longer when you're wearing the suit. So in the Pro, they put it throughout most of the suit, but just not in the top. So you can see any area here in green, they won't have the flash dry lining, but the entire black body is going to have that lining. And we've got one here which is turned inside out, which is lucky. So this blue material is that E7 unbelievable stretch material that they put in their E-bombs. And then you can see the flash dry goes all the way down to the bottom of the legs. So the idea, I suppose, with the Pro is to give you the flexibility where you need it in the arms, and then that flash dry all the way through the body. I would say this suit is super popular in a 4-3. So because you've got that flash dry lining with the fusion seams, it's going to keep you super warm. It's going to dry really quickly. So if you do live somewhere that isn't perhaps as cold, a 4-3 Pro is probably going to get you most of the way through the winter. Perhaps you need a hooded suit for those coldest days, but a lot of guys seem to be buying the Pro version in a 4-3 because of that flexibility. Now, the standard Flashbomb, which is not one to forget, has the flash dry lining all the way through the suit. So instead of it stopping at the arms, the Flashbomb standard has it running all the way from the very top of the suit all the way down to the bottom. So now this suit is for those of the guys who feel the cold. So if you are going in the colder conditions, or you probably don't surf as much, you're maybe not a surf fit, so you might be sitting around a bit more. This is where the Flashbomb itself comes in, and where we would say it's more popular with some of our customers who can't get in the water as much and who want something to be the ultimate in warmth. The suit has that flash dry lining all the way through, has the ultimate tape as well. It's still E7, so it still is flexible, but you do lose a little bit of that flexibility when you apply the flash dry lining on the inside, hence the reason they haven't done it with this suit. In terms of the other change is the zip. So as I said, the Pro version has a zip free, but the standard Flashbomb has a new zipper system, which is completely new for 2025, and it is a metal zip, which is incredible. So I think it's great when you're spending this sort of money. They really have started to spec up the features again, and having a solid metal zip that runs all the way across with a little closure tab, it just feels good quality. And I think you'll find that instead of having plastic zips that could break, having that metal zip is going to last a lot longer and extend the lifetime of your suit for you. The other benefit of having a chest zip is that it is a little bit easier to get on. So again, perhaps if you're not as flexible as you once were, or you're looking for a suit that is going to be a bit easier to get on in the car park when you're cold, the chest zip version is definitely the option to look at. Now, obviously, it's really important with wetsuits to get the fit right. With all of our wetsuits, we say, yeah, you can spend all the money in the world, but if you have a poor fitting suit, it's going to get you cold. It's not going to do the job. So definitely check out our size guide videos on our website. We have a video that explains the difference between a good fitting suit and a poor fitting suit. And we also have all the size charts, which we've checked and double checked all the way through for all the variations in sizing. Rip curl we find is quite a good fit for the sort of more athletic guy, I suppose is the best way to put it. It is a little bit taller, so it suits that slightly taller customer, but we can get a fit for anyone in the suit. I wear a medium short and it fits really well, and definitely, yeah, it's a very comfortable suit when you've got them on. Now, if you did need a bit more advice on these suits, we'd love to see you in our shop. We have the full Rip Curl selection in there, so you can come down, you can see all the different suits. Alternatively, if you can't make it down, obviously you can give us a call, you can send us an email, drop us a message on WhatsApp or on YouTube. We're here to help. You know, we are real surfers, we love these products, we understand the differences, which I think is so key when you're looking at this sort of price point, to understand what you're going to get for your money. So yeah, do drop us a message, we're here to help. And as I said, yeah, that's the Rip Curl range. If you do have any more questions, do let us know. My name's Henry from Shore, and check it out.